1947.
1947.
That was the first year the black player played alongside a white player.
So the abuse that he was getting was just unbelievable from the fans, from you know, everybody, opposing teams. And when this man just basically put his arm around them and said, he's okay, he's my teammate, he's one of us, it changed. And even when the first black player played for the Yankees had actually a racist management. They were one of the last teams to bring in a black player. But the players all loved Elston Howard. They all embraced him. And Elston never forgot that. And they were very close.
Gosh, amazing.
This is a very historic. So this is Larry Doby. They win the World Series. The Cleveland Indians, the last time they won, 1948, right after Jackie Robinson. And so the photographers are taking pictures in the clubhouse, and this white man hugs a black man. This was very controversial in this country. That picture went all over the country, and this guy got hate mail and stuff like that for doing that. He said, this is my teammate. But it definitely, and that quote by Larry Doby, I think says it all. So that really helped. When Larry Doby first joined the team, his teammates wouldn't even shake his hand. They didn't know what, they never had a black teammate. So they turned their back on him a little bit. But when they saw that he was a good man, he was helping the team, that's when they really accepted him.
He's Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, exactly.
And you said it was almost 20 years later that the general America had
63 and
63.
65, the Civil Rights Acts.
Right.
So
And
baseball was almost 20 years ahead.
Ahead of the civil rights.
Exactly.
Baseball ushered in the civil rights movement, if you will.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
David, what would have happened if it failed?
It's a great question.
I think it would have been more than
Well,
20 years.
You remember Martin Luther King's famous line. He said, I'm so grateful for Jackie Robinson, or else, integration in America may not have happened, or would have been pushed
And
back.
no sport had done it before baseball, before 1947.
Not really, no. I mean, basketball was a very minor sport, and they did, here, basketball, this is the very first black player to play, drafted in the NBA, and this gentleman.
But that's 51, isn't it?
51, right. Bob Cousy really took him under his wing, so he was very appreciative for that. No, but baseball, again, all the focus is on, this major American institution, and the fact that it was integrated.
Everybody was going to watch it, and then suddenly you were bringing the blacks and whites together.
Exactly.
Not good news for lots.
Yeah. So there's a wonderful movie. I don't know if you're going to get a chance to see it, 42.
I'm going to get it so
Yeah,
Mark can
see
watch
it
it on the
tomorrow.
plane
Yeah.
going back.
It's a very
Yeah.
interesting movie, Mark, because it shows you the moral atmosphere of America in the late 40s after World War II. And, the racism was just unbelievable. Oh, yeah.
Because it was a really interesting when I said to Claire earlier, because obviously I've never seen this racism for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
When
Sure.
being white, being brought up where I've been brought up,
Right.
and I said to Claire, so why did your family come to America? I thought you came here because it was the land of the free. She said, we came here in chains. And you know what? That really shocked people. We were just driving here today, and I was thinking, I'd never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I suppose the only thing that I can slightly relate to is that when my grandmother went to school, speaking Welsh was illegal because the government in London had put a ban on it. So if Welsh was spoken, and 90% of the country only spoke Welsh at the time, they had a Welsh knot, it was called. So if you spoke Welsh, the knot got tighter.
Really?
Until it got too tight you couldn't breathe.
So there was that bias, prejudice?
It wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Education, and now my daughter only does her education through Welsh.
Really?
I mean, that's the nearest thing I can think
Yeah.
of. Henry VIII came and dissolved all the cathedrals and broke down the Catholic, but also he forbid Welsh to be spoken.
Interesting. It's very interesting.
So that's the nearest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a different thing altogether.
Yeah, I mean, there were different rules for blacks and whites. I mean, they could go to the same restaurants, they can go on
So
the same
this-
bus. Yeah. So that was huge, that was huge.
Huge.
And there's actually a statue in Brooklyn of Pee Wee Reese and Jackie Robinson together.
I think what's really interesting, I came over here 48 hours ago to find out about baseball and to go and sing tomorrow at City Field, and what I've learned is, I think what I've got is a completely different story. You know, I'm excited about how the culture, how what it means for the American people, what it's done for blacks and whites and equality. I think is the story that I'm leaving with.
And the filmmaker, Ken Burns, great filmmaker, said the story of baseball is really the story of race in America. I mean, you can really trace all that to the game of baseball. I mean, it just mirrors it. So,
And that's certainly not what I
I'm
came
going
to
to show
think
you.
about.
To
find out about.
So, this is the young lady who was doing her job as a baseball reporter, and she was treated very poorly by some of the baseball players. Because essentially because she was female and she was probably African American. So this gentleman, particularly on the right, Steve Garvey, said, "Claire, you have a job to do. I'm going to help you do your job." So we call that allyship. This is a man who did the right thing, and I've been hounding Claire for a picture. Finally, she's so gracious to be included in this.